For this week's Gotcha, I want to address the wholesale abandonment of democracy by the Republican Party. Even though there are 3.5 years until the next presidential election, the Republican chairwoman this week threatened to have the party's nominee skip out on any debates in 2024. Her stated reasons included the same bad faith quibbles about format and timing that the party whined about in 2020. But the real reason is twofold. First, the Republican Party does not have popular ideas, so a debate would not help them. The Biden administration's big policy initiatives are immensely popular, even among Republican voters. And the Republican Party elites are aware that their economic agenda of tax breaks for the wealthy and corporations are non-starters among most of their base. So they trot out distractions instead, banging on about fringe cultural issues so their base voters won't pay attention to the economic policies that would hurt their families with every paycheck. The second reason the Republicans are threatening to boycott any 2024 debates is that they have long since given up on persuading new voters in favor of suppressing the votes of those who oppose them. Mitch McConnell admitted as much on the Senate floor 2 years ago, calling mild reforms to making voting easier, like making Election Day a holiday, quote, a power grab by Democrats. This approach isn't new. Republicans have been looking for ways to suppress the vote for decades, but their desperation kicked in, and it kicked into high gear following the big defeats in the House, Senate, and presidency in 2020. Now, anywhere Republicans have any state-level power, they are intent on winnowing the voter pool as much as possible, primarily through draconian voter suppression bills intended to make it harder for voters of color, young voters, and disabled voters to cast their ballots. At the same time, the party is pursuing sham election audits all over the country, despite the fact that Donald Trump's own appointed election officials called 2020 the most secure election in American history. Which brings us to the crux of the matter. The Republican Party has sold out completely to Donald Trump. They eschewed a policy platform in the last election in favor of a blanket stamp of approval for anything Trump wants. All this blind allegiance to a man who has been banned from most social media for inciting violence and whose blog was so unpopular that it was shut down in less than a month. The site reportedly got fewer hits than PetFinder.com, although at least PetFinder might connect you with a furry friend. Well, all you'd get from Trump's blog is the same old lying and whining we've become accustomed to from the former president. And yet, this man, the man the Republican Party is throwing away 200+ years of democracy for. Well, I've got bad news for the Republican Party. This power grab isn't going to work. You tried dozens of voter suppression tactics in 2020, and the American people still turned out by the millions to vote you out. You see, the constituencies you seem most intent on suppressing, people of color, disabled folks, women, we don't take our votes for granted because we remember our ancestors who fought. And whether your nominee shows up to the debate in 2024 or not, we hear your message loud and clear. Republicans simply do not want to participate in democracy anymore. So we're against you. I got you.